troops kill 7 bandits, recover weapons in Kaduna State. Abducted students of Bethel Baptist High School regains freedom after 2 years in captivity. Labor unions to embark on strike November 8th over attack on Ajaero. And from the international scene, at least 132 people killed as earthquake hits Nepal. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the details. The troops of 1 Mechanized Division and Operation Whale Punch of the Nigerian Army have killed 7 bandits during clearance operations in Birnin Gwari and Chikun local government areas of Kaduna State. In a statement by the Acting Deputy Director of the Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Musa Yahya, the troops neutralized 4 bandits who had been terrorizing the residents of Pakampaning Doka village at Birnin Gwari during the Operation Whale. 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 magazine and 14 motorcycles were recovered from the criminals. In another operation, the troops killed a bandit while they attempted to attack some farmers at Sabansara village, while the rest withdrew in disarray with gunshot wounds. During the operation, the troops recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, while one of the farmers, Abdurrahman Aliyu, sustained injuries. The army spokesman further disclosed that 2 bandits were killed by troops during a clearance operation around Kankomi, Juji, Gwantu, Kujeni, Kikwari, and Kaso general areas in Chikun local government area. He also disclosed that the troops recovered weapons including an AK-47 rifle and other ammunition from the bandits. The family of a Bethel High School student, Treasure Ayuba, who was kidnapped along with other 100 students following the joy, of course, have been overwhelming by the joy following the release of their son after over 2 years in captivity. The bandits had in July 2021 invaded the school, abducting over 100 students who were later released, with Treasure being the only student held by the kidnappers. Trust TV's Bello Musa visited the family and captured the moment. Take a look.
It was a perfect reunion on a day his parents thought he was never going to come. Treasure Ayuba is home at last. The family can only express gratitude to God for the return of their son after more than 2 years.
So me seeing him yesterday, I couldn't even believe my eyes. Like, I was not even sure if this Treasure that I saw. Because when he came, it was my younger sister that was in the parlor. She knocked. Me, I was inside. Then she was like, I heard her talking to someone, but I don't really know who she was talking to. Then immediately she now shouted my name. And I came out. I saw Treasure. She was like, Treasure, Treasure. When I came out, I saw him. I was like, is this Treasure? Because I saw him, like, he doesn't look like my Treasure that I know. So I was like, Treasure, are you the one? He now said yes. Treasure, the first thing he now asked me, he said, Mommy, how is your leg? Because when they kidnapped him, I had an accident. Like, it was just 3 weeks. So immediately we had the news. I have to, like, force myself to walk. And that incident really affected my leg to the extent that if I'm walking, you notice it's like I'm limping.
We as a family, we have had mixed feelings, and it got to a point that we're almost giving up, thinking he's not alive.
Treasure's mother described his escape from the terrorist den as miracle from God.
He was very, very tired. He now told me that he managed to escape. And even when he came out, like, it was early in the morning, like, he tried to, like, hide from the people because there were people in the bush. He were hearing noise, like, he now hide. Yeah, it was early in the morning. He now came out. He saw those hunters that were going to the bush. They now asked him that, where is he coming from? He explained everything to them. Then they now asked him that, where is he staying? He now said, Refinery Junction. They now said, you don't know where is Refinery Junction. Then the other, like between them now, they were talking. Then the other, like they just help him. They look for a car that will bring him back to Kaduna. They now told the driver that he should just try and help him so that he'll be able to trace his house. So normally before they kidnap me, I don't take him to market like this Sabu market. So it was when he got to Sabu market, he now knew that like where he is, the environment he is, he knew that place. That is when he now took Keke down to the house.
Over the years, there have been speculations around Treasure's continued stay in captivity, with many opining that he might have development Stockholm syndrome, a situation where a victim develops sympathy for their kidnapper. His family, while dispelling the speculation, say his return is evidence enough.
In fact, the first day I heard that story self, I was shocked. Like, whose child like there is no way a child will tell his parent, no matter how, like even if he's not getting what he really wants, like he's not getting what he wants from his parents, there is no child that will say he doesn't want to stay with his parent. Like for once, like even when he was having the opportunity to call us, for a once he has never told any of us that he doesn't want to come back. Instead, the way he will be answering us, you know that someone is standing behind him. He's not even free.
The chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, Reverend Joseph Hayab, says Treasure will receive the psychosocial help he needs as part of his rehabilitation process.
2 years, 4 months is not 1 week. People who stay with bandits for just 30 days come and life looks different. Talk of 2 years, 4 months. So our prayer and our hope is we will help in the rehabilitation of the young man. We will, in case they have radicalized him, we will also work on that aspect. We will take every step. We will use experts. We will use our spiritual knowledge. We will use experts in different fields just to help him come out of it and then think about his education.
Treasure is now undergoing medical checkup and treatment in a hospital in Kaduna. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The police command in Rivers State says it intercepted 300 parcels of cannabis sativa, popularly known as Indian hemp, during an operation in Port Harcourt. The Commissioner of Police in Rivers, Nwonyi Emeka, disclosed this to newsmen at a news conference in Port Harcourt on Friday. He said police operatives attached to the command's C-41 intelligence unit intercepted a bus loaded with the banned product after receiving credible information from an informant. Emeka said the suspect is cooperating with the police in its investigation. In a related development, the police boss said police personnel acting on information bust a notorious gang of armed robbers responsible for many robberies in the state. The police commissioner confirmed that 2 male suspects who received the stolen vehicle from a deceased gang leader had been arrested and were providing police with the interrogators with useful information. Emeka said the police command is already on the trail of other fleeing members of the gang and assured that the suspects would soon be arrested and prosecuted for their alleged crimes. With just days to the November 11 election of cycle governorship election, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has restated its readiness for the exercise. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu affirmed the commitment of the Commission at the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security in Bayelsa Friday. Peters has the details.
The off-cycle elections are around the corner, and the Independent National Electoral Commission is once again at the center of development. Speaking shortly after the meeting, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says the election will be an improvement on previous elections as INEC has put measures in place to ensure a seamless exercise.
The readiness assessment visit to our local government office here in Enagua and the meeting we had yesterday with the electoral officers. We had just had a meeting with the security agencies, and they assured us that they are ready to provide the requisite security for the conduct of peaceful elections. Unions provide the transport, both land and in the case of Bayelsa Maritime. So we have the standing arrangement with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, and the Marine Workers Union of Nigeria. This time around, the movement is going to begin 2 days to the election, not a day to the election, so that there will be ample time for that movement. And the security agencies are going to help the commission to keep watch on the transport providers so that we open the polling units promptly and we conclude the process promptly at the polling units before we move to the collation.
Speaking on the security component of the election, the Commissioner of Police CP Tolani Alausa and the Commander Nigerian Navy Ship Soro Komodeye Ojebode gave assurances of support in providing adequate security and logistics for deployment of materials.
And as I go back now, I will make adequate arrangement for security for those equipment that will be moved out of Yenegua. Particularly, we have our own peculiar terrain. We have 80% water, so we are going to concentrate so much on moving materials across the rivers. Because the experience we had the last election, February election, was that materials did not move on time, and election did not start on time in most of the river areas.
So we will start pre-positioning logistics to all the takeoff points so that we will have a smooth and hitch-free movement and escort of sensitive materials as well as election personnel. And not only that, adequate arrangements are also in place with in consonance with sister service and sister security agencies to dominate all the flashpoints in the state to create a conducive environment for Bayelsans to come out and exercise their function.
Bayelsa is among 3 states scheduled to take part in the November 11 governorship elections alongside Kogi and Imo State. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
The fallout from the botched NLC protest in Imo State continues to generate reactions as the organized labor calls for an investigation into the matter. The NLC president, Joe Ajaero, was at the center of the development following his detention by the police. Noel Sampson has more.
The events of November 4th, 2023 in Imo State sent shockwaves across the country as the NLC raised alarm over the purported arrest of its president, Joe Ajaero. The circumstances around development is still being contested as the police and the Imo State government deny their involvement in the physical attacks on the NLC president, labor unions, journalists, and others. The organized labor has now passed some resolutions in the aftermath of the Imo incident.
We are worried that it has come criminal for workers in Nigeria to gather for a peaceful protest where Section 40 of the Nigeria Constitution and the International Convention like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the African Chapter on Human and People's Rights, including ILO Convention 87 and 98, guarantees the right to freedom of association and the right to bargaining collectively.
The area command of the Nigerian Police Force and all other officers and men in Owerri, through whom the police commissioner supervised the brutalization and humiliation of Comrade Ajaero and other workers, be relieved of his office and stripped of its commission. We further resolve that in the events the government failed to comply with any or all the conditions above stated, NLC, TUC, and their affiliates will no longer guarantee industrial peace and harmony in Nigeria beginning Wednesday, 8th of November 2023, while a joint National Executive Council NEC meeting of the 2 labor centers will meet to decide the next course of action.
While reiterating their commitment to the welfare and well-being of workers in Nigeria, the organized labor leaders clarified their intentions to support Imo State workers as the motivation behind the protest, while the unions deny allegations of partisan motivations.
Not political. We don't interfere or campaign for any politician or political parties in Imo State. That was not our intention, and it will never be our intention.
The unions acknowledged the role of the National Security Advisor in de-escalating the matter by facilitating the release of the NLC president from police custody. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Amid the public outcry over the 5 billion naira presidential yacht to be procured by the federal government, The Nigerian Navy has confirmed taking delivery of the yacht. The Director of Information, Nigerian Navy, Commodore Adedotun Ayovon, stated that the yacht had been in the country since June 2023. The Director of Information, while speaking to newsmen, explains that the service made a long overdue request for the replacement of the defunct presidential yacht during the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. He stressed that the yacht was for training purposes. Meanwhile, indications have emerged that the payment for the yacht may suffer delay given the opposition by the two chambers of the National Assembly, as federal lawmakers refused to approve the payment for the yacht, with the House of Representatives reallocating the funds to student loans program. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, Maiduguri resident laments over unavailability of cash in circulation. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify. But
there are people who say not spending money is not about you.
I'm coming. Let me finish.
Because there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid attention, significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for jam, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Troops kill 7 bandits, recover weapons in Kaduna State. An abducted student of Bethel High School regains freedom after 2 years in captivity. Moving on to more stories, there is a growing concern among members of the public in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, that cash in circulation is becoming increasingly scarce as residents and business owners complain of lack of access. Although the central bank has assured Nigerians of adequate liquidity, the situation in Maiduguri is reminiscent of the cash crunch in the late 2022. Trust TV's Beatrice Kuruti has a situation report.
The mild cash crunch in Maiduguri metropolis is causing unease among residents as many fear a repeat of last year's experience when the central bank rolled out its monetary policy. The unusual naira scarcity is unsettling businesses as available cash is running out with demand increasing by the day. Even point-of-sale operators are unable to augment the shortfall of available cash in circulation.
We used to go to local government because local government they are having more cash than us here. So we used to go to local government to search for money and come back to it into Maiduguri right now here. Like even today, I even went to the one of local government before I get the cash. Based on my perception, I did not hear anything about this scarcity of naira. They only say that it's December, but government has not talked about old note or new note up to now. It's just people that they have started hiding the new note. That's the reason why scarcity here in Maiduguri is too much than any place.
Some residents speak on how the current situation is disrupting their activities on a day-to-day basis.
Because this cash now as I come here now to look for cash, I even asked for 10,000. They even say that I should pay 10,500. I don't know what happened. I even tell and say make you collect 10,300. He say collect 10,300. Voila, we are suffering because of this cash.
Like yesterday, what can I say? I do market like 120,000, but the thing waiting for my pocket is just only 3,000 to buy food for our house. And I don't get cash. The kind of people where I suffer for buying all those cheap and where I will do for my house because all those local people where they are selling something do not want to collect transfer.
We even ask our friends that they are used to work at the bank. They say that the bank people, the problem that they are facing now, CBN they are not giving them cash because they don't know the actual. They didn't talk about the actual time where they will change their money. That old money.
There are fears that the scarcity might be connected to the deadline of the old Naira notes issued by the Supreme Court, which would take effect by December. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Nigeria's economic downturn continues to impact negatively on the living conditions of millions of Nigerians as price of everyday goods continue to skyrocket. The price of goods like sachet water, commonly known as pure water, have become unreasonably high as residents of Asaba, the Delta State capital, decry the sudden hike. Jonathan Awayai has more.
The consumers expressed their dismay over the increase in prices from 20 naira to 15 naira per sachet, while the bag now sells for 400 naira as against the old price of 300 naira.
Pure and I go buy 150 naira because you know reach me eat the food. Very well, I don't know what to start. After I work on my body, they hot, know to drink water. I don't know what else to go buy. Very, very bad. Even honest, I know be lot of furniture. As I said, 350 naira furniture. That's our own different.
Pure water 150 naira. Some people they not get the money to buy them. But the truth be say, make the government when they try, make them do something about it, make the pure water reduce or normal price where they sell them before.
Others urge the state government to take urgent steps against the increment for the sake of the masses.
I need to call them or the producer so that they will know what to do for the pure water business because the thing is getting more high every time. It's not like this before. So government will need to take care of them to know what is going on.
Terrible. Even we that's learning work self, we cannot afford common pure water anymore. So we don't understand this kind of country we are now. Nobody knows where the carriers they go.
Some producers of sachet water who spoke off camera said the increase in price is caused by rising production costs, which have negatively impacted their operations. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
About 26.5 million Nigerians in 26 states and Abuja may face an acute food crisis, according to a harmonized report by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations in partnership with the World Food Programme and other agencies. The partners made the declaration on Friday in Abuja while presenting the October 2023 CADA harmonized report to the federal government. The report states that the key drivers of the projected food crisis included the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, the Naira redesign policy, floods, conflicts, and insecurity. In the report, about 26.5 million people across 26 states and FCT are expected to be in crisis or worsen between June and August 2024. The Kada Hamanise report is a unifying tool that helps to produce relevant, consensual, rigorous, and transparent analysis of current and projected food and nutrition situations. From the international scene, at least 132 people have died in a strong earthquake in Nepal. The police in the capital, Kathmandu, confirmed the incident. Dozens more have been reported injured. A representative of the local administration in the Jakarkot district near the epicenter of the quake said the number of victims could rise. Confirmed figures on deaths or injuries from some other parts of the mountainous region were not initially available. According to the measurements by the National Earthquake Monitoring Center, the quake had a magnitude of 6.4 Friday evening. The area experienced at least 3 aftershocks in the following hour with a magnitude of at least 4.2. And with that, we wrap up News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. Join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.